One phone call that changed everything. There are moments in life that feel completely ordinary while they are happening. A phone call, a single sentence, a small decision made in less than 30 seconds. And then, later, you replay that moment over and over in your mind, wondering how everything unraveled so quickly. Tonight's story is about a man who returned home safely after years abroad. He believed the hardest part of his journey was finally behind him. But somewhere inside a crowded airport, one phone call changed everything. Attention passengers arriving from New York. The man at the center of this story, we'll call him Daniel, though his family knew him simply as Uncle Dan, had spent nearly 18 years in the United States. He worked exhausting shifts, warehouse jobs, night deliveries, construction work, anything that paid. Slowly, painfully, he built a life for himself. Not luxury, not millions, just enough to return home with dignity. To his family back home, Uncle Dan was the one who made it, the relative abroad, the man with dollars, the man everyone believed carried opportunities in his suitcase. But what nobody realized was that someone else was listening. It was around 7:40 p.m. when Daniel's flight landed. The airport was crowded, travelers rushing through terminals, families waiting anxiously, taxi drivers calling out to passengers, security officers moving from corner to corner. After nearly 14 hours of travel, Daniel was exhausted. But he was also relieved. Finally, home. He collected his luggage, 2 large suitcases, 1 carry-on bag, and a black backpack that never left his shoulder. Then he did what almost everyone does after landing. He pulled out his phone. The call lasted less than 2 minutes, but according to investigators later, that call may have sealed his fate. Daniel called his younger brother, and like many excited travelers returning home, he spoke too freely. "Yeah, I just landed. I'm outside now. I'm going to enjoy Naija for a long time before heading back. Tell Mama I'm finally home." Simple words, just a man speaking to his brother. But nearby, someone heard enough. Not the entire conversation, just enough. A man returning from America, staying for a long time. Vacation. Money. That was all the information they needed, because hidden inside crowded public spaces, there are always people listening, watching, waiting, like vultures. Security footage later showed 2 men standing less than 15 feet away while Daniel made the call. One pretended to scroll through his phone. The other leaned casually against a pillar. Ordinary, forgettable, invisible. But the moment Daniel ended the call, they started moving. Daniel stepped outside the terminal searching for a taxi. Moments later, a clean black SUV pulled up beside him. The driver was well-dressed and polite. He asked Daniel if he needed a ride. After loading the luggage into the vehicle, the driver opened the rear door for him. Daniel got in without hesitation. What he didn't know was that another vehicle pulled out just seconds behind them. At first, nothing felt unusual. The roads were busy. Streetlights flickered against the windows. His family continued sending excited messages. "Welcome home. We can't wait to see you. Drive safely." Everything felt normal, until the driver suddenly changed route. Daniel noticed it when the city lights disappeared. Then came the silence. No busy intersections, no roadside stores, no traffic. Only long stretches of dark road. He leaned forward and asked calmly, "Which route are we taking? I'm not familiar with this road." The driver said nothing. Instead, the vehicle slowed down, and moments later, another car pulled up beside them. 3 men stepped out, fast, organized. One yanked open Daniel's door, another grabbed his backpack, the third pointed a weapon directly at him. And within seconds, the man who had safely returned home from America vanished into the night.
Daniel later described the room as small, hot, and completely dark. He lost all sense of time. Hours felt like days. Days felt endless. His phone was gone. His luggage disappeared. His passport taken. The kidnappers wanted only one thing: money. The first ransom call came early the next morning. At first, Daniel's family assumed it was a scam until they heard his voice. Weak, terrified, desperate. Please do what they ask. They'll kill me. The kidnappers demanded an enormous ransom, far more money than the family could gather quickly. Panic spread immediately. Relatives called relatives. Friends contributed whatever they could. People sold valuables, borrowed money, begged for help, all to save a man whose only mistake was speaking too openly in public. Meanwhile, Daniel remained blindfolded most of the time. Later, he admitted the hardest part wasn't the physical discomfort. It was the uncertainty, not knowing whether he would survive, not knowing whether his family could raise the money, not knowing whether each approaching footstep meant food or death. At one point, he overheard the kidnappers discussing the airport. That was when the realization hit him. This was never random. They targeted him because of the phone call. The words replayed endlessly in his mind. I'm going to enjoy Niger for a long time before heading back. I just arrived from America. A few careless seconds, and now his entire life depended on strangers. For 3 long days, negotiations continued. The kidnappers reduced their demands several times, but the fear never faded. Daniel's mother reportedly stopped sleeping. His younger brother blamed himself for answering the call, and every unknown number that appeared on their phones triggered panic, because each call carried 2 possibilities: hope or devastating news. Authorities eventually became involved, but kidnappings like this move quickly. Victims are often relocated constantly. Time becomes dangerous. Pressure intensifies. Families begin making desperate decisions. Eventually, the money was gathered. Not the full amount originally demanded, but enough. Enough for the kidnappers to agree. The exchange happened late at night. 1 vehicle, 1 bag, 1 terrified family praying the criminals would keep their word. And hours later, Daniel was released. Alive, exhausted, traumatized, but alive. When news of the kidnapping spread, reporters gathered quickly. People wanted answers. How had he been targeted? How did the criminals know? What happened during captivity? Daniel appeared physically weak. His face carried the exhaustion of someone who had witnessed something terrifying. And during a brief interview, he said something that stayed with many people. If I had known, I would never have made that phone call. Not because calling family is wrong, not because returning home is dangerous, but because some information should never be announced publicly, especially in places where strangers are listening. Airports, bus stations, hotels, restaurants, public transportation. Sometimes, a single overheard sentence is enough for someone to stop seeing you as a person and start seeing you as an opportunity. Most people believe life-changing moments arrive dramatically, with alarms, with warnings, with obvious danger. But sometimes, disaster arrives quietly, hidden inside ordinary moments. A conversation, a social media post, a publicly shared location. A phone call made in the wrong place, around the wrong people. And once information leaves your mouth, you can never take it back. Daniel survived, but survival does not erase fear. It does not erase trauma, and it certainly does not erase regret. Some lessons cost far too much to learn. So the next time you arrive somewhere crowded and you feel tempted to announce what you have, where you are, or where you're going, remember this story, because somewhere nearby, somebody may be listening. This has been one phone call that changed everything. If you enjoyed this episode, follow for more true-to-life stories exploring the moments that transformed ordinary lives forever. Stay alert, stay careful, and thank you for listening.